Hello, everybody, and welcome. We're at the end of the week because it's a long weekend this weekend. It is here in the UK. So we've got a holiday tomorrow, and I'm going to take the day off, but I will be back on Monday. And today, I think somebody suggested, why don't we have some bubbly instead of a cup of tea? So why not? Let's break out some champagne or some Prosecco or something and raise a glass to toast ourselves, all us fabulous women in this amazing room at the Ritz. Today I want to carry on the conversation that I started yesterday, all about confidence and all the reasons why our confidence can slowly become eroded and undermined, especially when we are lumped in with this category of an older woman. I talked a bit yesterday about the tendency to become invisible for various reasons. You know, we just aren't seen around or heard as much as younger voices and younger images. It's also been part of the conversation that I've had with you over quite a few of these videos, which is to do with visibility in the sense of colour, accessories, wearing some nice makeup, you know, having your hair well cut, all that kind of thing, so that you don't start to wear the black and porridge and beige and all those sort of really boring non-colours, which mean that you really fade into the background and nobody notices you anymore. So you can see that what I'm wearing today, nobody is going to fail to notice me. And I'm actually wearing this for a particular reason, because it's attached to a story that I want to tell you about. So I'm very keen that as we age, we retain as much confidence as we possibly can, not only in our appearance, but also about ourselves as people. I think it's quite interesting on Super Troopers how often people will say things like, I haven't plucked up courage yet to post a photograph of myself, or I've just plucked up courage and I'm now posting this selfie. I'm not very good at selfies, so this is my attempt. And it's almost like, am I going to be good enough for this gang? You know, will they accept me? Will I be, will somebody say something unkind to me if I expose myself in this way by putting a photograph up? And it's much more of an issue for some people than for others. But for those of you who do pluck up that courage and post your selfie and then get the lovely feedback that you invariably get, because most of you, all of you, you know, you look terrific, then that, I hope, in itself bolsters your confidence. It's like, oh, okay, I am okay. I do pass muster. I'm allowed to join this gang. I think social media can be a very cruel place. And certainly I've had the odd troll who's followed me around and said nasty things about me. But I am quite a confident person. I'm okay as far as I'm concerned. So I just think they must be very angry and having a bad day and they want to push it all onto me. So it just goes completely over my head. But the point about Facebook when you're older is that, as I said, it can expose some of your vulnerabilities about how you feel about your aging self. And I suppose what I've been trying to do over yesterday's video and today's video is to reframe perhaps some of your ideas, your thoughts, your beliefs, your attitudes to that very thing. You know, how confident you are about yourself now that you're older. So I want actually to give you some exercises, which I'm going to do later on, which will definitely boost your self-confidence. But I also want to tell you a little bit of a story about why I'm wearing this top and a particular event where I did wear this top, and I was feeling incredibly unconfident, low in confidence. And it was a particular set of circumstances. So I'll tell you the story. So on this particular day, Anna and I had been invited to a very large beauty event in London, at which I had been nominated for an award. a beauty award, which in itself was quite surprising. But as far as I was concerned, the chances of me actually winning this award were next to zero, given the competition that I was up against. So on the day of the award ceremony, as I said, which is 6 o'clock, I had a very, very busy day. So I got up in the morning, I did my hair, my makeup, and I put this top on, which, as you see, it's one of these Issey Miyake permanently pleated tops, and you can see it's a very bright neon pink, and I put it over a black top and a pair of black trousers, and I thought that will do for tonight as well as today. And I'll take a pair of shoes, more sort of slightly more evening-y type shoes to change into from boots, and I'll just have to do. So busy all day doing various things, and about, 5:30, maybe 5 o'clock, went into the loo to get ready, and the only loo that was free was a disabled loo. So the mirror was level with my knees and the lighting was terrible. So I bent down, tried to sort of slap on a bit more makeup in this mirror, which was a position where my knees are, and dragged a bit of a comb through my hair, a bit of spritz of, hairspray, and off we went. So in the taxi from the station to this very smart Mayfair hotel, Anna and I were laughing about this and saying, "Oh my goodness, there's no way that we're going to win this award. However, let's see when we get there. It'll be a bit of fun." And we walked in to a room absolutely packed with the most glamorous people, women, in London, virtually. I mean, they'd all got their, Manolos on their feet. They'd got amazing dresses on. Makeup was all immaculate. Hair just been blow dried. Nails all perfect. And literally, Anna and I stood there going, "OMG, what are we doing here?" Talk about confidence draining away completely. Just really felt that we were, the wrong people in the wrong place, and people must be looking at us thinking, "What on earth are they doing here?" This is a very glamorous beauty and fashion event. People like that shouldn't be in the room. Anyway, I just kept thinking, it's fine. So we chatted to a few people, went in, great big room, ready for this award ceremony. I sat down, sitting next to the the people that I was nominated with, one of which was Benefit Cosmetics, very large, very successful beauty brand and so on. And the women on either side of me, both very much beauty insiders, which of course I definitely was not, turned to me, "Oh, hello, and who are you?" So I'm Tricia Cusden, look fabulous. "Oh, very nice." And then they ignored me completely and started to turn and spoke to their much more interesting neighbours. Didn't do an awful lot for my confidence. Anyway, various awards were given out, and then it came to Digital Achiever of the Year, which was the award that I was nominated for because of the YouTube videos on Google and the fact that we are an e-commerce business. Anyway, as I said, I had prepared nothing. I was perfectly happy to sit there and look very clap and the person who had actually won the award, and that would be the end of the evening. And lo and behold, envelope, opened it up, and the winner is Tricia Cusden. Oh my goodness me. Anyway, I nearly cried. I was completely overwhelmed, and my first thought was, I don't have the shoes for this. I'm not going to be going up there in my Manolo Blahniks. I think I got a pair of flat pumps on, and oh my goodness, I've got to make a speech. So I got up, calmed myself down, and thought, just calm down, Tricia, it's fine. Remember to thank all the people that I needed to thank for the award. And then I remembered that morning I'd had a really lovely email from a customer called Margaret. And she said, "Dear Tricia, I just wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart for creating this wonderful makeup range. Since using your makeup, my confidence has returned and you've given me my mojo back. So thank you." So I quoted this email and I said to a room of about 500 beauty and fashion, fashionistas, I am pleased to have won this award for women like Margaret, who have felt for a long time that now they're older, their beauty needs are just not met adequately. And I'm so pleased that I've been able to create Look Fabulous Forever for women like her. Thank you very much. Big smile, and off the stage I went. So I think that was an illustration, really, of several things that we often feel from time to time. We go into a room full of people and we start to think, oh my goodness, I don't measure up here. I'm not as good as they are. You start to put yourself down in some way. I'm not dressed right. I haven't got the right hair, makeup. I'm going to be considered somehow unacceptable within this group. And then, of course, I won the prize, very surprisingly. And then it made me realise that I actually did deserve to be there, that I had the right to be part of that group. And actually, far from being less worthy than they were, that I was perfectly fine. So I think there was a lot in that to learn, and I think in general in life there is a lot to learn over situations like that, because actually putting ourselves down in the way that Anna and I certainly did in that room to begin with really doesn't serve you very well. So I'm a very, very great believer that we need to think well of ourselves, to bolster our own confidence as and when we possibly can, so that we feel good. And I want to give you some exercises in order to do that now. We've got a long weekend, so how about having a go at some of these exercises? And maybe you want to post some of the thought processes that you've been going through onto the Super Troopers page if you want to join in with that. So my first exercise for you is, number 1, write down 50 things that you like about yourself. I can hear the howls of anguish now. 50 things that you like about yourself. You're going to find this very difficult. If I said write 5 things down that you like about yourself, you'd probably say I can't do that. Or 10 things. I'd never think of 10 things. And I'm saying 50. And I've made it such a preposterous number because I want to give you permission to actually have 50 things that you like about yourself. Now, it could be that you just like your nails. I don't care what you write. It's what is important to you. And see if you can do that. It's all about bolstering self-confidence and self-esteem, so you can see why that might be important. Exercise number 2. Write down 3 sentences which begin, I am proud of myself for, and then complete that sentence. So I might say, I am proud of myself for winning Digital Achiever of the Year as an award at a beauty event at the age of, I was probably about 68 when I won that award. So there you go. I am quite proud of myself for winning that award, and that would be, or could be, one of mine. Number 3, find a really, really lovely photograph of yourself or a video. And it's a photograph that when you look at it, it fills you with pleasure. So you look at it and you think, wow, I look all right there. I look nice there. And say to yourself, I'm still that person. Nothing has changed. I am still who she is in that photograph. And I'm saying that to you because you're probably going to be younger in the photograph, but that doesn't mean to say that you're any different or any less now than you were then. My 4th thing to do is, again, this is a bit of fun, write down a job advertisement with a description which includes everything that you do for your family and in your household. So imagine that you're advertising for all the things that you do as a job, and then give yourself a massive salary. Nobody's going to pay it to you. But my point about that is that often if we leave work and we're no longer working, we feel that we've lost status as a result. And yet we're incredibly busy and we do a lot of things, especially for other people. The one thing that older women are doing so much with their time is helping others, whether that's in their community, in their church, at a charity shop, or participating in groups and so on and so forth. And they're also, alongside that, doing a lot for their families. So you imagine if you were being paid to do that, just how much that would be worth. It's just to shift slightly your perception of yourself in terms of worth and value. And the fifth one is set yourself a challenge. It doesn't have to be to climb Mount Everest. It could be to post a photograph of yourself on Super Troopers page. My point about that is that having little challenges for ourselves and achieving them, reflecting on them and giving yourself a bit of a pat on the back is a very, very good way for you to feel good in terms of your self-esteem and your self-confidence. So that's really what all of those exercises are designed to do. Not so that you'll get too big for your boots. Do you know what happened to me once? I started work when I was quite old for the first time. I had my first proper job when I was in my late 30s, and I loved it. I loved it so much. And I suppose I was immediately fairly successful within that job. And somebody said to me, quite close to me said, you know what your trouble is, Tricia, you're getting too big for your boots. And I was absolutely mortified and quite upset. And then at the time I had an amazing boss. And I said to him, will you give me some honest feedback? Do you think I'm getting too big for my boots? And he said to me, well, Tricia, if you are, you just need to get a bigger pair of boots. And I shall never forget that, because he was giving me permission to be okay as a successful person. And I have to say he very, very much boosted my confidence a lot, because he was an incredibly good boss. I've got a little book here which somebody gave me, You Are So Awesome. How lovely is that? And it's got some nice bits in it. And I'm going to read a couple out here. So the first one is talk to yourself like you would to someone you love. Again, this sounds ridiculous to some people. It's you're too big for your boots, you're going to get big-headed. We don't live in a cultural society that allows us to love ourselves. But if we don't love ourselves, then how is anybody else going to love us? So I'm very, very keen that, that we think well of ourselves and give ourselves a pat on the back every now and again. And the last one is, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're absolutely right. Henry Ford actually said that, and that's been certainly something that I've lived with as a motto. Am I thinking myself into this or thinking myself out of this? Because thinking often makes it so. So I hope you found that useful. Have a wonderful weekend. I hope we have lovely weather so that we can enjoy it. I think it's Mother's Day, Mothering Sunday on Sunday in the States. We've had ours already. But if that is your experience, then very happy Mothering Sunday for you, or Mother's Day on Sunday. And I look forward to seeing all of you on Monday for another trip for a delicious cup of tea or glass of fizz at the Ritz. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.